I'm Jim.
I'm Rhenda.
We're hardiness approach.
We're cold. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, there's a nor'easter going on, but I think we're on the outskirts of it. But it's still, there's a chill in the air.
Oh my goodness, Oliver's just shivering to pieces. Look at him.
Doesn't have his coat on.
All right. Well, we're going to start outside anyway.
We may move inside. We were trying to be brave, but we may lose some of our. Maybe we'll go suit up.
Yeah, we're not dressed appropriately. We are going to talk to you about a subject that we wrote about last week.
We did write about it last week. We have some experience with it and plan to have a lot more experience. We've had some success on our homestead in Oregon selling our products. I mean, we were getting started. So as everybody knows, when you're getting started, you don't do as much as you eventually plan to do. But we put a lot of the tactics into place that we'd learned about. We grew and raised our own, and then we started trying to sell it, and by the second season, things were picking up for us. Unfortunately, we had to leave, but what we learned was...
Oliver, come here.
Come here, Oliver. We're not going down there. What we learned was if you do good products, you contact people who are interested in it, they come back.
Yeah, they beg you.
Yeah, so it works. So what we're going to tell you about today, some of it we have a lot of experience. Some of it we've researched a great deal.
Some of it we're wannabes on.
But it will work.
So we wrote an article on 101 ways to create income on your homestead. And we're just going to go over some of them today.
So a favorite one of ours, and one that we are going to be doing, we've done a lot of research on this, a lot left to go, is to do a market garden.
Correct. And we even are signing up for the Market Garden Master Course from JM40.
So a market garden means this is more than just a little patch in your backyard where you're growing barely enough for you to eat. I mean, you're doing this profitably. You're keeping track of all your expenses, so you make certain that you sell things at a profit, and you do it in ways that you save time, you save labor, you're efficient, and it's intense, so you get the most out of your land.
Absolutely. And you have somebody to help you, which we will do.
Absolutely. And you need to market first. You need to have places to sell it, so we're going to talk about that now.
CSAs.
What is that?
Community supported agriculture.
Okay. Great system. Very many ways to do it, but it's a great system.
Local restaurants, local grocery stores, having a route of your own.
Where you deliver it.
Deliver in your small little town.
Or in your area, you just have a route you go around to. You can have drop-off points, and so that kind of combines with the CSA a little bit too.
And then one that we know we absolutely want to have is a farm stand in our yard. And
with visions of it expanded beyond just this simple little
which
table.
We'll tell them about a little bit later.
Yes.
And so when we're looking for our property, we always look with that in mind. Are we stuck way down a road where we have complete privacy? That's great. But are we on a road that maybe isn't so busy, but we could have a farm stand on? So that's one of the things we look at. So what do we sell at some of these farmers markets? And farmers markets, of course, is another one.
That didn't make it to the list.
It did not make it to the list.
It should have been there. We meant to have that on the list. Farmers markets are great.
So farmers
you got to know what you're doing, though. I mean, there's a lot of tactics for that. So we're not really telling you the details about that. That's a topic totally unto itself. But it's a great place to explore. A lot you can do with it.
So some of the things, just really quick, that we can sell. You always want to sell your normal vegetables and then have a little niche. You don't want to just go in and sell your niche, because you won't always make money doing that. At least that's what Joel Salatin says.
Right, but what you need to do is some experimenting. And prior to doing this, you go to the farmers markets, see what's selling, what's flying off of the shelf. What's flying off of the shelves, and how is it being done? And it can give you some ideas on what you might be able to do to have the right product. What are people looking for? But go and survey, talk to people. Hey, what do you see here that you really like? What's missing that you would like to get here? You know, a little bit of market research.
Trying to block the wind from the mic.
I don't think it's being a problem. This is probably being okay.
Okay. I can just feel the wind. Okay, so Honey is a great thing to sell. I can't believe how expensive honey is, and I just keep
It is
buying
popular. I mean, if you watch at the farmers markets, it sells fast. Friends that we have that we know of who have produced, the small amounts of honey that you do from just a, small operation, they sold every bit of it they put up for sale. Period.
Yep.
It just sells out fast.
So we definitely are getting
Now,
these.
I can't promise that's going to happen for you in your area, but everybody I've talked to has had great success with it.
So we want to grow some of the spices. Saffron is a really very, very, very expensive spice. And I know the reason why is because you take the flower and you pull the little,
Stir.
what is that called?
You forgot. Don't worry about it.
Pull that
It comes out of the
that little
flower.
thing out of there. I'll put it on there.
Stomata, probably.
No.
No. Anyway, it's hard to harvest. That's why it's so expensive. But there's a great deal of profitability.
So that would be a niche.
Yeah, big niche.
Berries. Do you know how many berries we had in Oregon?
Oh,
it was ridiculous.
But people still, instead of going and picking their own, they'd go buy them at the farmer's market. So great opportunity.
We never sold ours there. We just had our neighbors come over and pick and shared them and shared the community that way. And then syrup. Oh, I wish I had maple syrup things, but I love watching all these people right now that are getting all their maple syrup. It's so
great opportunity. If you live somewhere that you can harvest syrup, my goodness. Well,
you're lucky.
You're not harvesting syrup, but there's a little bit more to it.
So some of the other things are handmade food items. So many of the cottage industry right now in the States allow you to do things where you didn't used to do.
Yes, so there's a lot of opportunity there.
Most of the restrictions have to do with a dog, meaning you cannot have a dog.
Well, you can have
in Oregon, you couldn't
pet.
have a dog in the house, although we know people did.
Yeah.
Here, you just can't have it in the kitchen when you're cooking. That's easy.
Yeah, that's
Go
really
to your room. Yeah. So you can also...
So you need to check your local cottage industry requirements, but there's many things that you can do.
You can also make handmade items, aprons, candles, soap, and we know many, many of you do out there.
Planter boxes.
Planter boxes.
Beehives.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Really cool stuff. And of course, so many of you sell essential oil, so I had to put that one on there.
Yes, yes.
So this is the other one that we want to do along with our little farm stand. We want...
This isn't year one. This probably isn't even year two, but it's eventually.
We want a farm store. So we want to build a cute little shed type cute thing that has
big enough that we can have shelves of
we can sell our vegetables
coolers,
in there, or
refrigerators,
milk, our eggs,
whatever,
things like
even
that.
freezers to hold the frozen meats.
Yeah. So we're excited to be able to have a little hardiness farm store.
I mean, this is building a reputation to where people see you as a source, and you get enough customers who are wanting to come over. Why not? I mean, have a store. You can sell a lot of things. Plus, you can sell on consignment. You don't have to produce all of it. You can go around to...
the little farm store we do.
I mean, you all know your neighbors are like 20 miles away, right? I mean, when you live out in the country, neighbors are a long way away. Well, they may not want to go to the trouble of having their own place to sell it. You could be the place that they can sell it. So you end up with a market where you have a wide variety of farm-produced products that could be sold at your farm store. Great opportunity there.
So the next thing is to look at all the animals that you can have and will have and do have. And most of you are learning. Most of us all, we're learning about them. We always sold our eggs. We sold our eggs.
We had, eggs were not a problem to sell, my goodness.
We sold chickens, our broiler chickens. We, I know a lot of you sell your pigs. You sell lambs. So there's so many different ways, and that's another money maker. That's a big money maker for a lot of people.
Yes.
So that's really good. One thing is to keep a buck, a rabbit buck, what
kind of animal?
What are they all called?
There's different names for the
a male animal, so it can be sourced out to
rent it out.
Rent out, and that's a money maker for you.
Which means
also.
while you're renting it, they're paying you rental and they're feeding it. You know, it's what an arrangement, right? It's still yours.
This is one that we have done, and it's poultry processing. And there's 3 ways to do it. One, you can rent out your equipment to other people.
So you buy the equipment. It's expensive, right? It's real expensive, so you tend to kind of get by, but think about it. If you owned it and you rented it out to other people, it pays for itself, and then when you need it, it's available.
Number 2, they bring their chickens to your home and you process them.
State regulations here, you got to be watching out for that, and also some countrywide, national, U.S. regulations.
Number 3, you get all of your equipment and put it onto a trailer and have a mobile processing. Again, you have to go through your state to do this.
Or you can rent it out as equipment. Then
it's rent it out, or you go to their property and you process. So there's 3 different ways to do it.
At least 3. There's probably more, but those 3 that we know of.
And some people don't mind getting the chickens, but they don't want to do the processing. We don't have any problem with it.
Now, what some people do with that is they offer training. You take it in there and you show them how. So they become the workers, and you're doing the training. So you can rent the equipment and get paid for training also.
Yeah, because we had that one place that you could go to their place and they would show you how, using their equipment.
Now, this is one we've thought about seriously. The time commitment's huge to really make it profitable.
For it too.
Yeah, it's a seasonal thing. So who knows? We may end up doing it. Right now, we have enough other enterprises that we have in mind. I don't think this one's on our list.
Oh, and by the way,
although owning the equipment, that could be on our list.
We're not doing every one of these. Just don't think that, oh my word, they're going to get a homestead and Dell's just going to be overwhelmed. No.
Maybe eventually, but no, really, it's got to be done in a way that makes sense.
We're just giving a bunch of ideas out. Yeah. So then this one is the Airbnb, and this one we really do want to do. We want to build 3 little cabins, and these are the kind of cabins that are in like the campgrounds where they're just a bed and a barbecue on the front and a little heater inside.
With a common restroom for...
Yeah, there's no restroom in there. So we want to have 3 of those with a common restroom.
Which will have like a shower, so, you know, it's not totally primitive.
So, and then Homesteady, they talked about getting an idea from somebody else, having an Airbnb campground on your site. And so we definitely
I wish we had thought, well, no, our landlord wouldn't have let us, but the property we had would have been ideal. Yeah. We could have made a bundle.
So when we're looking for our property, that is another thing that we're looking for. Where would we put our Airbnb cabins, and where could people camp? So that's another idea we are going into this.
We realize it's not totally simple. I mean, there's a lot of considerations with that, and some legal requirements that you're going to have to meet, but everything has requirements, so, you know. Hold on.
You're wearing John's Troll Salad.
I mean, it's true, okay? It is true. So find out what the requirements are and how you can work with them, for sure.
This next one is to make one of your bedrooms into an Airbnb, and that way you get to fix fantastic real food breakfasts in the morning for them. And you don't have to have them there any day that you don't want them there. You choose the days that it's open. So that's another idea. Then our trainings and workshops. We've gone
What are you good at?
Hold it closer.
What are you good at?
We've gone on to farms before and taken a cheese class, all different kinds of things that are available. You can have 1 or 2 hour workshops. You can have seminars that last a day. What we'd love to do is be able to teach people how to eat real food and change, like give them a kickstart where they actually come for a week of day-long things, and with a big classroom, and they can learn how to eat right and how to change the processed food and how to do it with all the recipes. That's one of our goals that we really want to do.
Writing and photography is next on your list, right? So, you know, everybody thinks you're going to be rich doing videos on YouTube, and some folks are doing really well. It's not simple. I mean, it can be done. You can do well with it. You have to be
Oliver, come back.
You have to be very wise about what you're doing and very purposeful. You can fail. There's still opportunity to succeed. I believe that, but you have to use it correctly. You have to be wise about it. But writing, If you like to write, there are a lot of opportunities for writing, and that's something you can do from a homestead. A lot of people do that. Photography is another possibility. There's always places, outlets for photography. You got to be good. You can't just be sloppy, crummy stuff. You've got to do well.
You can also write for magazines.
Yep.
You can do guest writers, all kinds of different things. So don't underestimate, and you know the people that are out that are doing that, and it's amazing that are doing it.
Now, another one that we're exploring, and just
remember, we're not doing this all at once.
As we look at this one, it gets kind of exciting because we've actually seen it at play, especially in Oregon, where there is so many opportunities. But it's agritourism, and Rhenda is going to explain that a little bit, what that means.
Okay, so they had a huge farm there that we went to begin with, and we really didn't like it when we first went there, because we went there at October, and literally thousands and thousands of people, and I thought, oh, they've exploited their farm. But the reason they exploited their farm is because it brought them in thousands of dollars. But we don't want to exploit our farm. But there are so many
on the
different
thousands
things.
of dollars it brought in on those few days of October, whatever it was that they were doing it, they introduced themselves to lots of people.
Yeah.
But then throughout the year, those people would come back because they were selling flowers of different kinds, plant starters, but they also had
all the vegetables,
a variety
pies.
of vegetables, on and on. And it was a year-round business for them, but they got new customers as a result of this big festival in the fall.
Yeah.
I mean, this was huge. This wasn't small. This was big.
It was big. So just some smaller things that you can do. First of all, Lois Wilson and her husband, they have a agritourism business up in Manitoba, and we are going to go up there and visit them at the end of June, and it is called Katy Lake Cottages, and they have a petting area, and we're just really excited to see how they're doing their agritourism. Just some simple ideas of ways to bring community into your place. Not every one of these bring in money, but they bring in people so that people are aware that you're there and will buy from you. So some of them are, if you have a pond, have a fishing derby, have a chili cook-off, hey, you need a fence painted or a barn painted, invite the community to come, have it be a potluck and a campfire at the end of the day. The things that you can think of, my mind just goes nuts, so cuckoo over this exciting stuff that you can do, and it all has to do with bringing the community to you. And some of it will bring you money.
Let your imagination go wild. There's things that you love to do that you could be amazing at. Bring people in there to do that.
Rent out your barn. Okay, you have to clean it. Have a barn dance. Okay, and just really quick, we did have a block party in Oregon, and we had 10 families that lived. We couldn't see anybody from where we were
all had
at.
the same street address.
Yeah,
not address, but we lived on the same short street.
But they were way down somewhere else. So we invited all 10 of them. We went to their doors and knocked on them and gave them a written invitation for...
We're going to have to wrap this up soon. I'm getting COLD, okay?
It's almost done.
Yeah.
Anyway, every single family came to a potluck dinner in our front yard in the middle of June.
These are country people. People want to get together. You just have to make an opportunity.
And do you know what they said? For the last 16 years, we have been meaning to do something and nobody ever organized it.
So be the organizer. Make it happen.
It was such a fun evening. Last thing is a farm camp for kids during the summer. You can go online, just put in farm camp. You can see all the different ones that are there.
I mean, you can do it for a day. You could do it for
the whole
every
summer.
day. You can do it for a week at a time. There's a variety of ways you can do it.
So many different things that you can do.
Lots of liability. You'd need to be prepped on this one. But I mean, people want to come to the farm. They want to learn about farming. They want to see what it's like. Parents want their kids to know where their food's coming from. Great way to do it, but it also opens the door. Guess who's going to come buy your produce when they brought their kids to learn how to grow it and plant it? They're coming to you to buy yours.
Because their kids help grow it.
Their kids will say, Mom, are we going back to whatever your farm's name is? They're going to love it. They'll love you.
So we're going to put a link up here to our webpage where we have the whole article that we have written on 101 ways to create income on your homestead, from your homestead. And feel free to stop by that page or anywhere on there and sign up for our newsletter, because you will get a newsletter with a link to the blog every Friday morning.
And tell you what, on that blog, there's a place you can make comments. If you've got some other ideas that we haven't mentioned that are working for you to generate income from your homestead, share them. People would like to know about them. We're not your competitors. We're all in this together trying to succeed, and the better all of us do, the better all of us will do.
We're gonna go get warm now.
Mean?
I don't know. But I do want to say this. We're gonna end it with the problem, the seed, a solution. What is that?
Oh, okay. What applies here is the permaculture principle that the source of the solution is the seed. No, the source of the problem is the seed of the solution.
And
I got that right.
Homesteads are very expensive, and we can't afford a hobby like that. So we need to be able to use that problem as the solution, the seed of the solution, right? Is that it?
Yeah, the source of the problem is the seed of the solution.
So anyway, we're super excited. We are getting closer to figuring out where, and now we have an idea of the things that we definitely are looking for.
Which are having a big influence over where and what the property is like, because we see these enterprises that we want to put together, and we've got to have a place that's going to let us do a fair number of them at least.
Have a beautiful day.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.